Hello guys, today I'm gonna explain you how to play the game called Kapow. Here you see the rules. We have, in order to play the game, we should have the deck of 52, deck with 52 cards, and the game called Kapow. In the game, this word means -5, and there are certain things that you should know before starting the game. And let's start with the points. So there are numerics for each type of cards, from 0 to 20, and let's start with the first one, red king. So basically there are two red kings, and the other two are black, obviously. And these two cards is the lowest cards in the game. The point of the game is to have the lowest score in your hand, and the scores, the points, are like this. So this is the lowest. Then we have aces. There is no color differentiation for the aces. Basically all aces, 4 of them are equally 1. And then we have the other cards, like any basic number from 2 to 9. 2 to 10. They're basically the same points. So for example, this card showing 2 has 2 points. This one has 4 points, and etc. Then the amount of jacks, this card, the point of it is 11, and the queens are 12, but the black kings are 20. So the basically kings are both the lowest and the highest cards. Reds are the lowest, 0, and the blacks are the heaviest, are the highest, and 20 points. I will talk about the functions later, and also I will talk about the Kapow, how to end the game, or at least go to the next round. But first, let's do the gameplay. So the game starts after shuffling the cards to players. Ideally, there can be maximum of 6 players, and each player got 4 cards, and the rest of the cards, rest of the deck stays in the middle of the table board. So let's say I have 4 cards, and also let's say my rival has 4 cards. Then 2 of us, we can play. So the minimum number of players is 2, and the ideal maximum is 6, but you can somehow manage with people more than 6, but not recommendable. So after shuffling and distributing the cards, someone says, usually the left side of the distributor says check. After saying check, everyone look at the 2 bottom cards of his hand or her hand. I'm looking to my cards. The player looks to his or her 2 cards, and try to remember these cards, because if I see the same card in the open deck in the middle, I can throw it immediately without my turn. I will repeat this one, explain this one later on as well. But that is the main point with remembering the card, trying to memorizing the cards. So you can only check once at the beginning of the game. Later, with the functions of cards, you can check as well. But this is the rule, and without any functional card, you can only check at the beginning of the game. So the game starts someone picking the card. So there are few cases. If the card that you picked is less than your hand, then you can change the card. So for example, I put my highest to the open deck, to the ground, and I keep the lowest one to myself. This is the first case. Then the second case might be something like the second case can be the opposite of it. The card that you pick, the card that I just pick is more than my hand, because as you remember, jacks were 11 points. So the jacks were 11 points. And my hand, two of my known cards were lower than this. Then in this case, I can simply throw this to here. And then the third one can be the card with like not that much of points and not that less of points, so something in the middle. And for that case, I can either take that card for me and put my card here, or I can well, basically this is not the middle one, so let's say something like 5 or 6. So yeah, something like this. I can either put this one here, throw this one away, or I can even risk with the cards that I don't know. So for example, I can make a risk and take this 5 for me and throw the 6. This is risky because now it's almost the same, 6 and 5, but if this would be really low, like red king because it's 0, or like aces because it's 1, then it would be risky for me, and the other player can took this card as well. Because after I finish, the other player starts and also either choose the card from this deck or take the card from open deck. So if the player takes cards that is numerically higher than 7, then those cards becomes functional. So for example, if someone picks, so for example, if I pick 7 or 8, then I can look my cards. So for example, I took this card. I see, only I can see this card. So I see that if I want to use this, use its function, then I put it here. Then everyone sees that I have this card, and it becomes functional, and I can check one of my cards. Well, basically now it's the same, so I can even throw this, because as you remember at the beginning of the game, I said that we trying to memorize our cards because we see the same, we threw it immediately without our turn. Then my rival plays, he does the thing. If he decides to change, he change. If he decides not to change, he puts the card here. So it goes on like this. And if so for example, my rival decided to put the card here, and it's 7. Again, he also can use this card's function and look to himself. So he looks one of his cards. So the functions goes on like this. But if I pick a card 9 or 10, then by the way, you cannot change the places of cards. If I take 9, then or 9 or 10, then I can look other. So I decide to use its function, then I should put it here. Everyone sees that I have this card. I either say pass this card's function, or I say I want to use and check other's card. So this looking other's card is useful because when in the next turns I have Jack or Queen, I can change blindfoldedly. So yeah, so I have Queen, I put it here, it becomes functional, and then I change with other player. And if I pick Black King, then I look and change. So it's not blindfoldedly like in previous one, but this time I look and change. So for example, I pick, and if it's Black K, I put it here, it becomes functional. I look someone else's card and then decide to change it. Now, the game ends when someone says Kapow. Well, not exactly at that time, but a little after. If I say Kapow, it means that I have the lowest. I claim that I have the lowest hand. My cards have the lowest scores. And then after I say Kapow, I kind of froze my hand and put something on my cards. This is important because after I say Kapow, I cannot throw the same card. If for example, if there is J and I had J, I cannot throw this. My hand is frozen. It's also important because my rival cannot change with me. When there are and after I say Kapow, the other player starts to do their last game, and then we open our hands, and if I really have the lowest numbers, then it's true rightful Kapow, and I will get -5 points. But if my rival has less than my hand, then I will get my cards plus 10 points as a punishment. So in this game, I have 11 points. My rival has obviously more than 11, so I won the game and get -5 points. So basically, this is the rules. And by the way, one thing: in every mistake you make, so for example, in every mistake you make, you get +2 points from the deck as a punishment, as fine. And the mistakes can be, for example, cheating and checking your cards, or throwing wrong card. So for example, you thought that you had J, either these or these two cards, one of them is J, but you throw through the wrong card, then you get +2 cards. So this is the game rules. Enjoy playing it.